All right. Well, good
Hi.
morning, Miss Shika.
Good morning. Good morning. It's evening for me
Oh,
right
good
now.
evening. Hello to everyone.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, so here we are on the Enough Show, and it's fascinating how we keep discovering how this situation of enough is showing up everywhere in the world.
absolutely. Absolutely. I just seen a movie where it was showing up, and just today I watched that. But I was reading somewhere, and there was a line about praising in that book, and then I sat down and I realized that the praises become such an important part to feeling enough. So even if we're doing the right thing, we are achieving, we are feeling it better, we are growing, but the validation that we need through
Hmm.
praise just keeps making us getting stuck. And then it comes down to the same thing, that we don't feel enough. And the enough will only be felt if somebody praised or we praised ourselves. Like, I feel that this whole, and I might be sounding very silly, but this whole thing of constantly telling ourselves, "Oh, you're amazing, Shikha. Go ahead." Like, you just there's a praise. Even the culture has come where in the healing world also we're talking to ourselves in terms of praise, and I'm very curious. Why do we why can't we just be like, just be, do your work, feel, go,
Yeah,
move forward, experience, and not wait for us praising ourselves or somebody else praising us or
yeah.
validation coming. So what do you
Uh,
say about that?
well, it's that's such a great point. It's because we're always looking. We're never like when we're looking for something, or I'll get there, or when this happens, or
Yeah.
when I'm successful here. We're we never we're not allowing ourselves to actually experience it in the moment because we're waiting for it out there somewhere in another time situation or circumstance or whatever. So I think that's part of, I've been realizing that even for myself. It's like, okay, so if I'm saying I need that or I want that or I want to be there, then what am I right now? Why am I not just feeling it right now? So it's that enoughness is, it's not a place you get to, it is a feeling that you can invite in for yourself.
Right. Right.
Not easy.
Yeah.
But
Not easy.
I mean,
Not
maybe
easy.
it is easy and we're attaching so much to it actually, because I think
Um,
that's the point, is that we're attaching so much to why we're not.
right. Yeah, I think I see that doing to my children as well, praising them, trying to do. I think it all comes down to an acceptance. If you do something great in the eyes of your parent or your mentors
Yeah,
or your
right.
coaches, and that validation is very important from outside. And I don't think when a child is born, it needs any kind of validation for feeling that enoughness. Like, they're just complete, right? They're just totally complete. A baby doesn't need to be heard. You're beautiful looking and you're great looking, or oh, you're crawling perfectly, or
Or
do this.
good boy or good
Yeah.
girl, or
Yeah. A baby doesn't
right.
need that when they're born, for sometimes only till they start understanding the compliment part and the reaction.
Yeah.
And it could be as early as 5 months when the motor skill can allow you, oh my, I'm getting a reaction, and I should do more of this. And so I just think it starts very, very early. And I'm very curious. Uh, uh, Even if this show called Enough is not praised and we just keep going, like, I'm just curious, like, how long, like, why the whole need of wanting that, oh my god, you're doing something amazing, is a validation, right? And that
Mm.
freedom part is lacking even there. So I think it's a lot of work that needs to be done to feel, like, when you say, just to feel enough and complete, and
Yeah,
don't
because we
need
have
it.
to, like, we have to unwind the moment,
Yeah.
because we can all go back to the moment that someone told us that we weren't, like, we remember that moment someone said we weren't, or someone said be quiet, or someone said, oh, you're too much, or whatever it
Right.
was that someone said to us. It's like we remember that with, in place of all the other stuff, we remember that moment, which we judge everything upon. So,
Yeah.
like, what if that was, we base that as like, that's the truth. And now I have to do things to be, I have to do something in order to be enough. Where
Right.
we don't have to do anything, which is like, and people can't understand that. What do you mean? I don't have to do anything, right?
Right. I was in a conversation, of course, in the online world, there's a connect calls happening all the time. Somebody want, like, you see something, connect call happening. And then I was getting a little triggered by this question. And I was trying to be a very good girl by just saying, don't get triggered. It's just a question. That's how they're trained.
Mm,
But the fact that the question is, what is it costing you? That's a common question that is asked from the coach in front of you because that's how you're trained. Ask your client, what is it costing you not doing that? And I'm like, it's costing me nothing. And I was just, they're genuinely saying this. I'm at the perfect place right now. It's not costing me anything if I don't go there. No, if you don't earn $5,000, what is it costing you? It's costing me nothing. So my answer was, because I
uh,
am embodying, being enough. And that doesn't mean that I don't have dreams. That's different. I don't want to be curious. I don't want to get money. I want to open. But it is not costing me. I don't have a
mm,
FOMO about what it's costing me. And that's how slowly, uh, you know, we are getting entangled. I
yeah, oh
never,
my
like,
God, that's
yeah.
good. That's good. That I want to, because that is part of the thing. Like, and then you start to feel bad because you're like, oh God, I'm not investing in myself, or I need to spend this much money to invest in myself to make sure that like, it kind of messes with your head as far as, well, if you don't do it, then again, is it costing you? Is it really costing you something? Or is it just a decision that you made in the moment and you go in a different direction, or you take another opportunity that comes? Because
Yeah.
there's not a right or wrong decision that you ever make that changes your enoughness. So you don't make the
No.
wrong decision. And so if you really thought you were enough, you would have taken this program. Or if you really thought you were enough, you would have done this. So yeah,
So that's a very common question. What is it costing you? What is it costing you? And then that also was triggering me because we were doing this work around
I love
enoughness.
that.
And I'm like, it's really not costing me anything. And I kept on telling I'm in a perfect place. All right, let me just dismantle it. Or if you had 5,000, I just have to give some answer because they would just think that I don't know what I'm saying because it's not
Yeah.
an ordinary answer to give, that I'm complete. And that doesn't mean I have all the money. It doesn't mean, like, people can see that as arrogance. People can, if you talk like complete person, people can look at you and say, you're so arrogant, you don't need anything. It is not about need. It's just standing like grounded at a place and say, I'm at the perfect place. Okay, now the
Uh,
tree wants me to climb it, I'll go climb it. Not because not climbing the tree will cost me the adventure that I should have gone on and all that.
mm.
That FOMO thing. I want to climb the tree because I want to. You're in a docu series with me. I'm doing the docu series because I want to. Where is it leading us? Look at how it's unfolding, the way it's unfolding step by step by step, and that's good enough to maneuver and take journeys like that. Similarly, with the enough
Well,
card
but
deck that we're,
it's not even just good enough. That is the way.
yeah,
Really,
it's just,
is
yeah,
if we are here just experiencing things,
right,
learning things, it doesn't matter which road we take. We're learning something. We're either learning
yes,
what we want, what we don't want, what we want more of, what we would like less of, what, opens doors in all kinds of directions.
yeah,
So yeah, and there's that pressure that again, triggers are like, wait, what? But I love what you're saying, is that you actually said, wait a minute, no, you stood in your, like, doing this, like, work in our conversations about enough. You stood in that. No, I'm enough right now. I'm like good right
yeah,
now. I don't
yeah.
I don't need to have this program or to
It's
pay
not
this
costing
money
me
to
anything.
show that my value, right?
Yeah, I kept on saying it's not costing me anything, but it is costing. But what is it costing me? Nothing. It's
No.
nothing at this very present moment. It's costing
Mm.
me nothing. I said I have my children with me. I am doing a good program, and if I want to put a pace ahead, I will pace it ahead when I want to, when I need to, when I should, or whatever. But not because there's a FOMO emotion attached to it. Fear of missing out is another not being enough talent. Oh, my
Oh
son is
God,
here.
the fear of missing out one. Yeah.
You keep. It's not your Didi. Okay, okay. I got another. Okay, okay. Go ahead. I'm on a call. Mama. So, why did you I'm sorry. You just carry on with your show. Okay, Biru, I'm on
those
a call.
those little voices, those little tiny voices. The that fear of missing out is something that can get us really confused because again, anything that has the word fear in it like that, right? That's never a good place to make a decision based on a fear. And that fear of missing out means there's something lacking and something.
They have taken over my room, and there's five of them now. Yeah, I have a call, please. Okay, you
That's
keep
cute.
sorry, Anna.
That's cute. This is how you can have your own business when you're a mom. Yeah. So the fear of missing out, it's really good to question and just to go within and ask, like, what what am I? What's the reason that I say yes to something? Is it really because I would love it, like Shika was talking about? Would I love this, or if it's not just a total on full on, yeah, I would love it, then probably good to say put a pause, because if it's for fear of missing out that you choose to do something, you're never going to be satisfied with what's there for you, because you didn't make it based on really pure, like, oh, I would love this and I'm all in. You based it on like, oh, but I'm gonna miss out on something. So it's the lack feeling when you have this fear of missing out. So not a good, just to notice that, are you moving on that FOMO? And if you are, maybe maybe pause and stop.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't want to say sorry, but yeah, that's the whole thing. It shows up in so many places. Like just right now, I'm just like, I'm going to miss and I'm going to just, miss onto the call and know your conversation. And it just shows up everywhere. Five of them just barged in and I'm just saying, I'm on a call. Then none of them are listening. And they all are barging in, trying to just come all over with their friends. Well, what do you miss in that? The culture has become that if you don't behave in a certain way, you will miss an opportunity, you will not be taken seriously, you will not get the
Yeah.
money. Like, if you don't have 1 million followers, nobody will take you seriously. And thanks to my book event, I've just started to feel that all these lies that we are staying with, just
Mm,
not needed. And the search of this perfect feeling within of freedom and not being chained and everything will only come from feeling enough at the spot,
yes.
at the
Oh my God.
moment.
Yes.
you know,
That's like
it's never
the
going.
key. That is the golden key, because all
Yeah.
of these feelings of wanting freedom are really freedom from all the lack things that we experience, and all the like, well, I should do this, or I need to have that, or because all those things will make you feel better, we think, which we have the ability to just feel like we can choose. No, none of that make really matters to the core of who we are at all, right? And when we're showing up and doing what we love, that's it. That's the game. That's it.
Right. It's a beautiful journey, Rosie, doing this with you because I can see myself closer to freedom than I would, uh, in spite of knowing it in the head, but stepping into it and sitting and breathing the oxygen and feeling enough, right?
So good.
Even the fact that there is stress in your life, something tragic has happened, trauma has happened, it will only start reducing and exiting your orbit when you take those deep breath of being enough, and let's say start from enough. Like, we have all
Yeah.
the solution, we are
Right.
enough, situation is enough, people are enough to help me, or I am enough to take the step. Like, it will all start from there. And
It
if
really
that
does.
embodiment happens, yeah, we will not feel that we are failing or we are not doing things right. And I also feel that abundance will follow us because the vibration you will step in,
Right.
the the whole need of wanting to be in that high vibe, very
Yeah.
high vibe
Yeah,
place.
because then we're searching for it. It's like
Yes, it
anything that we're
comes.
saying, I want, I need, I want, I need. It's like, yes. I mean, if we go with the fact that the universe always says yes to us, always.
Yeah,
If we're saying, I
yeah,
need that, well, yeah, sure, you need it. And you'll always stay in that need, in that lack place where because you are out there searching, looking for the thing,
yeah,
like you already are the thing. You already are it. And so it's just surrender to that, and you stop with that, like, gotta have, gotta be there, gotta do this, and all that,
yeah,
like doing this. That is just
yeah.
no, it's a
This
beingness. Right.
is something that came to my mind. Actually, the question should be reversed. What is it costing you by not being enough?
Hmm.
That should be the question, not what is it costing you to be in future, um, of not having something. That having word needs to be reduced and say, what does it really cost? And you know what I'm realizing, all of us are heading, we've done this exercise, we're all heading to the same place of peace, freedom, comfort. And everybody's comfort, peace, freedom is so different. And buying things, doing things, all that, sometimes people reach and they still don't find the freedom, comfort and peace. But if they can embody this, I'm enough, even when I'm like at the highest money level I can reach, or I'm
Yeah.
enough. I mean, that
Yeah.
just frees a lot of space in the head, and from there the creation starts. And the creation is
Right.
never lie. It's never a lie. It'll always make you step into the magic that you're missing
Oh my
out.
God, that's so true. It's never a lie, right? And I mean, that's like gold right there. That's gold because and that's freedom.
Yeah.
And so we're capable, like we're so capable of having that any moment that we want. It's like amazing. Like it's
Right.
just a switch. It's like turning on the light switch or turning off the light switch. That's it. So good.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's tough for people who are ever going to listen to the replays. They will understand. They can say, "Oh, it's very easy for you to say that and everything," but the request is to actually try and ask the question: uh, Am I enough right now, all the time? And if I'm not, what are the points that are making me not feel enough? And if I get those, will I feel enough?
Right.
And
And
if the answer is no, then you might as well just feel enough
I love
now.
that. Yeah, I mean, keep on just saying, like, is that really true? Is that really true? Like, just
Yeah,
keep on,
yeah,
because you basically get to the bottom of the thing. It's like, no, well, that's not really true. So,
yeah.
yeah, and that is where freedom lives, and it's available to all of us. We don't need any money
Oh
for it.
yes,
We don't need
oh
anything
yes,
for it. It's
oh
just a
yes.
feeling.
Yes. Yeah, it's just who's riding your emotion inside and then taking you to places and making you tired, unhealthy,
Mm.
sick, uh, and FOMOs and constant running and lack. And in that, if a number is achieved, whether it's whatever number, even people we think sometimes we are staying with, they're like, oh, we found the it's all is connected to this fact that the pause and the stability in enoughness is very important. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
interesting thoughts are building for us, Rosie.
So good. And we have something. So I'm just sharing in the chat for you guys. We have a beautiful Enough is Enough journal that you can start to kind of just reflect on some of these questions. Gorgeous. You can have fun with that. And we'd love you to join us in our Facebook group. You want to talk a little about it's not a group. It is a campaign. So
Yeah.
we invite you to that. I'm going to put the link in the chat also. And what do you want to tell everybody about that, Chica?
So here is the difference between what we generally encounter and what we're trying to do. Is only that enough is such a complete word that everybody knows and feels it. They already know about it. It's just paying attention to that word will bring some wisdom from each one of us who's joining the campaign. And that wisdom will come forward helping somebody, because somebody needs to hear something at some point in time. I need to hear something from somebody else at some point in time. So we are trying to encourage that space for contribution towards, if you can ask, the donation towards your time and efforts and wisdom towards enoughness.
Mm,
And once that contribution is done, we would just keep inviting more and more people so that they can step into feeling enough, and whatever support they can get, and find the community that rises by giving. And that's where the campaign is all about, to rise
yeah.
together.
Yeah, and we give you a list of things that like so you can share just beautiful things that just invite other people to kind of like consider like that they are enough. And so it's in that it's always in I discovered this thing that like whenever I'm feeling oh I need something, like that's the thing we need to give away at the moment. Because when we
Right.
give it away, it's like a boomerang. It comes back at
Yeah.
us when in the most
Beautiful.
amazing ways, right? That we don't even think of. So
Beautiful.
that's easy to gift it to
Yeah.
someone else because we can
Yeah.
see the enoughness in each other and in other people. We're like, why wouldn't they feel it? And so when we say something beautiful or share a beautiful image or a beautiful song or beautiful words, we like it's like that rising tide like lifts all boats, right? And so that's what we're inviting you to be part of the tide,
Yeah.
part of the
Yeah.
wave.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
awareness around where all, even we would love to learn, because it's a learning curve for us, where is not being enough hidden.
Mm,
And that's the interesting part, because it just helps us talk more on the show about it. It brings us, maybe we get in guests who are constantly contributing, to bring them on show and talk to them about what do they feel, how come they have so much to say about being enough, what did they do, what are the steps, and many things that will happen in that group. So it would be amazing. We are calling it a campaign because it's awareness, like health. It's literally needed at this point in time, and it's eating our society up, and definitely at an individual level. And my love for the next generation, already at the age of 12, 13, not feeling enough, is very painful to watch.
yeah. Wow. All right. So we are going to be here every Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock from India and New Jersey. So 9
Yes.
a.m. for me and 7
6:30 p.m. for me.
6:30 p.m. for India time. And we will be here next week. So all the information's in the chat for you to join us, get your free journal, join us in our amazing campaign. And we're excited to see you there.
Yeah, many things are going to unfold for all of us. So
Yeah.
thank you.
So
Thank you,
good.
Rosie.
Thanks,
Uh,
Shika. Hey,
Bye
bye.
bye.